I'm so glad you're able to join us today in our tiny shipping container theatre. Within these still walls, my friends, you're about to experience what the world may soon look like. Please, brace yourselves. My dear viewers, let me take you on a journey to the future. This is Blueprint 2050. The year is 2050. In the last 30 years, the global population has grown by 2 billion people. Our biocapacity, that is, the capacity of ecosystems to produce the biological materials we use and absorb the waste we generate, has reached the equivalent of 2 planet Earths. This means we're running at a massive ecological deficit. Our demand is exceeding what the Earth can supply. Around the world, the impacts of our ravenous consumption and constant search for economic growth are visible. Climate breakdown has reached a tipping point. Our greenhouse gas emissions caused by consumption of fossil fuels to power the growing world has catalyzed a global temperature increase of 2 degrees Celsius, resulting in massive biodiversity loss, regular severe weather events, and freshwater shortages. And as a result, climate refugees are being forced out of their homes due to rising sea levels in nations like Kiribati and Tuvalu. Our consumption has also seen the Earth stripped bare for the materials used to create the products that form our lives around us. The minerals in our electronics that we can't live without, the timber in our shiny new furniture, the cotton in our clothing. We've taken these resources from the Earth but given nothing back in return. And the demand for these materials at a low price often means that humans are exploited along the way. And all of those shiny new products we needed so much, we got bored of them and threw them in a pile on the Earth. Or, if you're lucky enough to live in a rich country like Australia, it was probably sent to a less developed country to deal with at their environmental cost. This isn't an environmental issue. This is a people-planet issue. For far too long, we've been presented with a binary, with environmental issues and social justice issues spoken of as 2 different things. I'm telling you today that they're inextricably linked. The fact remains that humans are a small part of a huge ecosystem, and when we exploit the planet, we're exploiting people too. But here's the thing. Not everyone on Earth is equally responsible for these impacts we're facing. In countries of high economic income, like Australia, the US, and China, our consumption levels have, for the past century, far outstripped the consumption levels of less developed countries. And many of the impacts we're facing are the cumulative effect of this period. Since 1990, 80% of growth in material use has been from increased consumption in rich nations. And here's the other thing. If high-income countries were to consume at the average level of the rest of the world, we wouldn't be overshooting the safe boundary at all. We'd be operating within the planet's biocapacity rather than staring down the barrel of a people-planet emergency. But don't fret. Global governments have just met at a UN summit to discuss the rollout of a new global economic social system which addresses this exact problem. The system assigns each human a resource quota for fossil fuel and material consumption, with resources assigned a monetary value based on the associated social and environmental impacts. Through a taxation and offset scheme, our once invisible, faraway impacts become tangible by forcing us to pay for those which we're contributors towards. For those of us in areas of high resource use, like Australia, our resource use will be tracked by an Internet of Things, which will feed data into a government-run monitoring system. Our homes, our transport, our purchases, they're all monitored using this system. This is managed through an app which enables citizens to see their current resource quota and use. When the quota is exceeded, the impacts may be offset through tax. For revenue raised, the funds will be split between research to fund innovation and global development and aid projects which will address the immediate social and environmental impacts related to the resource excess. Blueprint 2050 aims to promote the interconnectedness of individuals around the world and their relationship with the intricate ecosystem we're part of called planet Earth. It recognises that we must engage with the world around us with a sense of reciprocity. When we take something, we must give something back.